Welcome, friends, to Wonderful Moody's and Mariuma's channel. Today we're gonna start reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid books again after a long time. I was reading, the books on the computer in the last videos of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but now I've got all the books, but I don't have Wrecking Ball. Diary of a Wimpy Kid Wrecking Ball, I don't have it, but it's not a problem at all. So I think we finished Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and now let's go to the second book, and it's Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rodrick. And of course, this is part 1. We're gonna read 10 pages, and if we have time, we're gonna read more. And now let's start reading. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rodrick by Jeff Kenny. Here we go. Let's read it. Can you just make it just a little more closer, or that? September, Monday. I guess Mom was pretty proud of herself for making me write in that journal last year, because now she went and bought me another one. But remember how I said that if some jerk caught me carrying a book with diary on the cover, they were gonna get the wrong idea? Well, that's exactly what's happened today. My brother Rodrick. Now that Rodrick knows I have another journal, I better remember to keep this one locked up. Rodrick actually got all of my last journal a few weeks back, and it was a disaster. But don't even get me started on that story. Just make it like that a little bit. Sorry. Even without my Rodrick problems, my summer was pretty loosey. Our family didn't go anywhere or do anything fun, and that's Dad's fault. Dad made me join the swim team again, and he wanted to make sure I didn't miss any meets this year. Kill him, Brandon. No mercy, Todd. Stop shivering, Greg. Oh my God, that's funny. Dad's got this idea that I'm destined to be a great swimmer or something, so that's why he makes me join the team every summer. At my first swim meet a couple of years ago, Dad told me that when the umpire shot off the starter pistol, I was supposed to dive in and start swimming. But what he didn't tell me was that the starter gun only fired blanks. So I was a whole lot more worried about where the bullet was gonna land than I was about getting myself to the other end of the pool. Oh my God. Let's go to the 4th page. Even after Dad explained the whole starter pistol concept to me, I was still the worst swimmer on the team. But I did end up winning Most Improved at the awards banquet at the end of the summer. That's only because there was a 10-minute difference between my first race and my last one. So I guess Dad's still waiting for me to live up to my potential. In a lot of ways, being on the swim team was worse than being in middle school. First of all, we had to be at the pool by 7:30 every morning, and the water was always freezing cold. And second of all, we were all crammed into 2 lanes, so I always had somebody on my tail trying to get around me. The reason we had to use the 2 lanes was because swim practice was at the same time as the water jazz class. I actually tried to convince Dad to let me do water jazz instead of swim team, but he wouldn't go for it. Come on, ladies, get those arms up. Page 6. This was the first summer the coach let us boys wear swimming trunks instead of those skimpy racing trunks. But Mom said Rodrick's hand-me-down bathing suit was perfectly fine. After swim practice, Rodrick would pick me up in his band's van. Mom had this crazy idea that if me and Rodrick spent quality time on the ride, all it did was make things a lot worse. I'm sorry, I didn't read something. Mom had this crazy idea that if me and Rodrick spent quality time in the ride home every day, we wouldn't fight as much. But all it did was make things a lot worse. Rodrick was always a half hour late picking me up. And he wouldn't let me sit up front. He said the chlorine would ruin his seat, even though the van is something like 15 years old. Rodrick's van doesn't actually have any seats in the back, so I had to squeeze in with all the band equipment, and every time the van came to a stop, I had to pray I didn't get my head taken off by one of Rodrick's drums. Oh, God. Page 8. I ended up walking home every day instead of getting a ride from Rodrick. I figured it was better to just walk 2 miles than to get brain damage riding in the back of that van. Halfway through the summer, I decided I was pretty much done with swim team, so I came up with a trick to get out of practice. I'd swim a few laps and then ask the coach if I could use the bathroom. Then I'd just hide out in the locker room until practice was over. The only problem with my plan was that it was something like 0 degrees in the boys' bathroom, so it was even colder in there than it was in the pool. I had to wrap myself up in toilet paper so I didn't get hypothermia. Wait a minute, just a little bit. Let's make it lower. Okay. That's how I spent a pretty good. We'll finish that. Yeah, hypothermia. That's how I spent a pretty big chunk of my summer holidays, and that's why I'm actually looking forward to going back to school tomorrow. Tuesday. When I got to school today, everybody was acting all strange around me, and at first I didn't know what was up. Page 9, page 10. Then I remembered I still have the cheese touch from last year. I got the cheese touch in the last week of school, and over the summer I completely forgot about it. The problem with the cheese touch is that you've got it until you can pass it on someone else, but nobody would even get within 30 feet of me, so I knew I was going to be stuck with the cheese touch for the whole school year. Luckily, there was a new kid named Jeremy Pindle in homeroom, so that took care of that problem. Welcome to our school, Jeremy. My first class was pre-algebra, and the teacher put me right next to Alex Aruda, the smartest kid in the whole class. Alex is super easy to copy from, because he always finishes his test early and puts his paper down on the floor next to him. So if I ever get in a pinch, it's nice to know I can count on Alex to bail me out. Kids whose last names start with the first few letters of the alphabet get called the most by the teacher, and that's why they end up being the smartest. Some people think that's not true, but if you want to come down to my school, I can prove it. Alex Aruda, Christopher Zygal. I can only think of one kid who broke the last name rule, and that's Peter Utager. Peter was the smartest kid in the class all the way up until the 5th grade. That's when a bunch of us started giving him a hard time about how his initials sounded when he said them out loud. Teacher, the answer to that question is P-U. P-U. Yeah, P-U. P-U. These days, Peter doesn't raise his hands at all, and he's pretty much a C student. I guess I feel a little bad about the whole PU thing and what happened to Peter, but it's hard not to take credit whenever it comes up. I started that. Anyway, today I got pretty assigned seats in all my classes except 7th period history. My teacher is Mr. Huff, and something tells me he had Rodrick as a student a few years back. Mr. Heffley, you'll be sitting in this chair next to my desk. Wednesday. Mom has been making me and Rodrick help out more around the house. And now the two of us are responsible for doing the dishes every night. Rules that we're not allowed to watch any TV or play video games until all the dishes are done. But let me just say that Rodrick is the worst dishes partner in the world. 14. As soon as dinner is over, he goes upstairs to the bathroom and camps out there for an hour. And by the time he comes back downstairs, I'm already done. I'm ready to start. But if I ever complain to Mom and Dad, Rodrick always pulls out the same lame excuse. My buddy's on a schedule. I think Mom and Dad are too worried about my little brother, Manny, to get involved in a fight between me and Rodrick right now anyway. Yesterday, Manny drew a picture at nursery and Mom and Dad got really upset when they found it in his backpack. Mom and Dad thought the picture was supposed to be of them, so now they're acting all lovely in front of Manny. I love you so much, and I love you so much. I know what was really supposed to be in the picture. Me and Rodrick. Oh my god. So guys, I think this is the end of the reading. We reached page 15. Let's put a mark on page 16 so we can know which page we got. We're in right now. So now, thank you for watching part 1 of Diary of Wimpy Rodrick Rules. I hope you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe for the channel if you like the video, and click the like button and click the bell so all notifications for this channel come to you. And now, see you in the next 15 page, because the reading is going to be 10 minutes. See you in the next 15 pages of reading Diary of Wimpy Rodrick Rules and in part 2. And see you later.